here we are with Richard Renaldi. He's showing Fall River Boys at Jackson Fine Art. Richard, tell me about it.
Yes, Fall River Boys is a series I've been working on in a town in Massachusetts called Fall River, and I started photographing there in 2001. It's a town that was sort of very prosperous in the 19th century. It was a cotton milling town, and it came into decline in the 1920s and 30s, and since then it's sort of been a very stagnating economy. There's some light manufacturing there today. The median household income is about $30,000, and I was really very much inspired by this town because of the very typical New England kind of mill town. And New England is just covered with towns like this, like Lowell, Massachusetts as well, and Providence, Rhode Island. And there's something there that I really wanted to capture about sort of this grandeur that was lost grandeur, and what it's like to grow up in a town like that today and make your way in such a place, and sort of speak to the sort of the themes of being a young man and masculinity and coming of age in a town with not a lot of opportunity. And I just set about making this body of work. It kind of, originally actually went there just to photograph the mills, like you can see this picture over here. And then it just ended up, evolving into this sort of story I wanted to tell about the youth. And then recently, last year, I ended up deciding that I was going to publish this body of work, and me and my partner started our own publishing company. The imprint is called Charles Lane Press, and I had the experience of making a book with my first book, Figure and Ground, with Aperture. So we worked with some really great, talented people on that, and we called on them to sort of help us with this project, and had a really great experience putting together my new book and this complete body of work.
I read on your website today, it seems like you're really into the photo book. You seem really taken with the book publishing, and so I just kind of wonder about that.
Our hope is to not make a lot of books. We were much more interested in making really high quality, beautifully printed book.
And I wonder, I think you do these with an 8x10 view camera?
Yeah, it's all large format 8x10 view camera work.
How then do you, it's a very sort of, I don't know, old-timey process, or very technical and like that. How do you get this kind of sense of intimacy and immediacy that I see in the pictures? Where does that come from?
I suppose that's some way part of my relationship, that how I approach my subjects and how I interact with them, and the just even though it's my encounters with them are not long, they are intimate, because I think that's just how I am towards people. I think, I would like to think, but I don't know, because I've never talked to myself.
Right.
But that I think they have that feeling because of partially who I am, and also because of the camera. The instrument I'm using lends itself to a little bit more of a it's not so quick. It's more like a sitting for a portrait rather than a snapshot. So there's sort of there are more quiet moments than so much as a smile for the camera kind of moment. Right. There, I try to really kind of capture something more inner rather than an outward expression necessarily of what people think they need to be doing when they're photographed. And that's not to say, that everyone in my photographs is not, not allowed to smile. But I generally, if I feel like it's sincere, then I'm down with it. But if I feel like they're doing it just because, that's what you do, and
Right.
I'd rather have something different. And then the camera itself, it's this big thing on a tripod, and it's kind of becomes a conversation piece in itself, just having it set up.
Great. Well, yeah, I mean, that intimacy comes through in the pictures, and that sort of relationship with the camera and you and then the subject, and so they're really great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.